Y'all, sit back and brace yourselves. Because the hip-hop world is about to witness one of the most shocking stories of the year. CMG Collective Music Group has long been seen as one of the strongest empires in the rap game. Yo Gotti, the king of Memphis, and Blac Youngsta, his loyal soldier, have appeared untouchable. But behind the flashy videos, sold-out shows, and Instagram posts, there's tension brewing, and it's louder than ever. Sources are now saying that Blac Youngsta is sitting on receipts that could expose Yo Gotti like never before. We're talking contracts, financial discrepancies, and insider knowledge that could shake CMG to its core. What was once loyalty now seems like betrayal. And the streets are buzzing, fans are choosing sides, blogs are exploding, and the label itself might be on the brink. Some insiders suggest Youngsta feels used, silenced and controlled, and he may be ready to reveal everything. Money moves, shady deals, and personal secrets could all come to light. And if that happens, the CMG empire, once untouchable, could start crumbling publicly. Yo Gotti has stayed silent so far, but silence isn't always golden. It could be fear, strategy, or the calm before the storm. Either way, fans are watching, and the questions keep piling up. Will Youngsta expose the truth? Can Gotti protect his empire? Or is CMG about to fall apart? Stay right here, because this story is about to get wild, messy, and explosive. And we're going to break it down step by step. From the beginnings of the fallout, to the shocking moves that could change everything. To understand the chaos happening now, we have to go back to the early days of CMG when Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta were more than just label mates. They were brothers, partners, and the backbone of an empire. CMG wasn't just a record label. It was a movement, a family, and for a while it seemed unbreakable. Blac Youngsta's rise in the Memphis rap scene was fueled by Yo Gotti's mentorship. He wasn't just another signee. He was the street soldier representing the core energy of CMG. From viral Instagram antics to charting tracks, Youngsta carried the label's flag with pride. CMG for life wasn't just a slogan, it was a promise, and fans believed it. But over time, cracks began to form. Sources close to the label claim that Youngsta started noticing discrepancies in payments, stalled projects, and blocked opportunities, whereas he once got priority for features, music releases, and promotions. Suddenly, other CMG artists like Moneybagg Yo and SG were getting the spotlight, leaving Youngsta in the shadows. Money wasn't just the issue. It was loyalty and respect. Insiders suggest Youngsta felt controlled, as if Gotti was keeping him in check to maintain the hierarchy of CMG. Requests for clarification about missing royalties or delayed releases reportedly led to tension. And conversations behind closed doors allegedly became heated. Fans may have seen social media posts and flashy videos, but behind the curtain, things were tense. Youngsta reportedly started distancing himself, posting less about CMG, skipping label events, and subtly asserting his independence. It was the first sign that something bigger was brewing. By 2023, whispers began to circulate that Blac Youngsta might be ready to speak out, claiming he knew truths the public wasn't aware of. Truths that could tarnish CMG's reputation and even Yo Gotti's legacy. Financial mismanagement, control over creative projects, and personal disputes were all reportedly part of the storm. Brewing this tension set the stage for a potential explosion, a reckoning that the streets, fans, and even CMG insiders have been waiting for. Because when loyalty is questioned and the truth starts leaking, no empire, no matter how strong, is untouchable. And that brings us to the next part. The receipts, rumors, and allegations Blac Youngsta might reveal the evidence that could shake CMG to its core. The real tension begins with what Blac Youngsta might actually reveal. Rumors are swirling that he's sitting on receipts that go far beyond simple disputes over money or delayed releases. Sources claim he has contracts, bank statements, and even private messages that could show Yo Gotti in a completely different light, one that no fan has ever seen. It's not just business. It's personal, and the streets know it. Over the years, insiders say that Youngsta noticed financial discrepancies. Shows, appearances, and streams weren't adding up. Percentages he was supposed to receive reportedly vanished, while Gotti's other signees seemed untouched by the same issues. Fans might have seen Youngsta posting, laughing, and performing, but behind the camera. He was reportedly asking questions about money that didn't match the books, about blocked projects, and about decisions that seemed designed to keep him in check. Then there's the music. Some of Youngsta's tracks reportedly got delayed or even shelved entirely. Projects he poured himself into were held back, allegedly while other CMG artists were given priority. The whispers claim this wasn't about timing or marketing, it was about control. Youngsta was too hot, too raw, possibly seen as a threat to the spotlight that Gotti wanted for his other rising stars. But it's not just finances or music. The rumor suggests Youngsta also knows things about personal and street-level dealings, ties to conflicts in past, feuds that most of the public wouldn't expect. Some even link these back to sensitive situations within Memphis rap scene. People close to the label reportedly started giving Youngsta the side eye, wondering if he would eventually speak out. Social media only amplified the tension. Cryptic posts and subtle unfollows caught the attention of fans and blogs alike. Youngsta's Instagram began showing less CMG branding, fewer mentions of Gotti, and occasional captions hinting at betrayal. Fans noticed immediately, and the speculation went wild. Comments flooded in, some defending Gotti, some rooting for Youngsta to finally expose the truth. Bloggers dissected every post, every like, every hint. Creating a storm that had the internet buzzing, industry insiders claimed the heat is real. Even artists within CMG reportedly started picking sides quietly. Some are said to be wary of Youngsta going public, while others allegedly admire his courage and consider the possibility that he's the one brave enough to reveal the empire's inner workings. The tension reportedly isn't just online. It's backstage, in meetings, and behind closed doors. Contracts are being reviewed, lawyers are allegedly consulted, and the label's hierarchy is said to be on edge. If Youngsta releases these alleged receipts, whether through interviews, social media, or even music, the fallout could be catastrophic. It's not just about embarrassing Gotti or CMG. It could spark legal questions, it's public backlash, and a shift in the perception of the label itself. And according to insiders, Youngsta is reportedly waiting for the perfect moment to make the most impact, a time when his words and proof land like a thunderclap across the industry. The stage is set. The public is watching. Every move, post, and subtle comment is under scrutiny. And as the tension builds, one thing becomes clear. This isn't just a feud between two artists. It's a battle that could redefine an entire label, expose secrets long buried, and leave fans questioning what loyalty and brotherhood really mean in the world of hip-hop. The reactions from fans in the streets have been intense, and that pressure is only adding fuel to the fire. Once whispers started about tension between Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti, social media erupted. Fans began noticing the subtleties on Follow's cryptic posts, and the sudden distance between Youngsta and CMG's core team. Comment sections filled with speculation, memes, and theories about what might be happening behind the scenes. Some die-hard CMG supporters defended Gotti, saying Youngsta owes his career to the label. Others argued that Youngsta deserves to speak his truth if he feels betrayed. It's not just online chatter. The streets of Memphis are buzzing with anticipation. People familiar with the history of CMG claim they've seen the tension firsthand. From canceled appearances to behind-the-scenes conversations, cracks in the label have been visible to those paying attention. Locals say Youngsta's decision to step back from certain CMG events isn't just about ego or career strategy, it's a statement. And that statement hasn't gone unnoticed. Bloggers and media outlets are adding to the drama, dissecting every post and live clip. Influencers have started using hashtags like #CMGDrama and #YOUNGSTAVsGotti, driving engagement and fueling speculation. Each story feeds the next, creating a cycle where fans and artists alike are watching, waiting, and taking sides. The narrative is spreading quickly, and the label's public image is at stake. Artists within CMG are reportedly feeling the pressure too. While some remain loyal to Gotti, others are allegedly weighing their options. They're thinking strategically about careers, public perception, and the possible fallout if Youngsta goes public. Loyalty in the music industry is complicated, and the fear of being caught in the middle of a collapsing empire has already made some artists more cautious in their public appearances and posts. Every move from Youngsta is being scrutinized. Fans are analyzing captions, timestamps, and even emojis, trying to read between the lines. The anticipation is building because people sense something big is coming, an announcement, an interview, or a track that could change everything. And with Youngsta reportedly sitting on evidence of financial mismanagement, blocked projects, and personal disputes, that moment could hit like a bomb. The combination of fan scrutiny, street speculation, and media coverage has created a perfect storm. Everyone is waiting for the next move, and the uncertainty only increases tension within CMG. Some believe Youngsta is being strategic, waiting to reveal information at the perfect time to maximize impact. Others think Gotti may be preparing a counter-strategy to protect his empire. Either way, the situation is volatile, and the energy around it is electric. As the story continues to unfold, it's clear that this isn't just about music. It's about power, respect, and the dynamics of trust and betrayal within one of hip-hop's most influential labels, with fans, streets, and media all watching. The next move from either Youngsta or Gotti could set off a chain reaction that affects the entire CMG roster and the perception of the label for years to come. Yo Gotti's response to all of this has been interesting and telling. While Blac Youngsta drops subtle hints and lets rumors swirl, Gotti has remained largely silent. At first glance, it looks like calm confidence, the type of quiet that comes from experience and control. But insiders suggest it might be more complicated than that. Silence can be a strategy, yes, but it can also be a sign that the pressure is mounting behind the scenes. Every move Gotti makes now is being watched, and every pause adds fuel to the speculation that something is about to break. Industry sources claim Gotti has been working quietly behind closed doors to reinforce loyalty within CMG meetings, contract negotiations, and private incentives are allegedly part of a plan to keep the label together, at least publicly. While the outside world sees luxury posts and celebratory videos, insiders say Gotti is trying to stabilize a house that could be cracking at its foundation. The appearance of control is crucial, because any sign of weakness could encourage more artists to consider stepping away or speaking out. Legal teams are reportedly involved as well. If Youngsta decides to go public with financial discrepancies or other sensitive information, Gotti's camp would need to protect the label and the man himself. NDAs, contract clauses, and other precautions are said to be part of the quiet defensive strategy. The goal is simple: prevent leaks, maintain reputation, and keep the empire intact while figuring out the next move. Some speculate Gotti might even be planning to address the situation publicly on his own terms. Whether through interviews, social media statements, or song lyrics, there could be a controlled response designed to counter Youngsta's claims before they gain momentum. But timing is everything, and Gotti's team appears to be weighing the potential impact of every option. One wrong move could make the situation worse, not better. Meanwhile, the tension has had a ripple effect within CMG. Artists are watching closely, wondering who will emerge victorious and who will be caught in the fallout. Some are allegedly considering distancing themselves, while others remain loyal, calculating the potential risks to their careers. The uncertainty within the label has created a tense atmosphere, and the streets are noticing. Every unfollow, every cryptic post, every delayed project becomes evidence in the eyes of fans. Fueling speculation and debate, Yo Gotti's strategy, as insiders describe it, is a combination of patience, calculated silence, and controlled action. But even the best strategy can be tested when someone as bold as Blac Youngsta holds information that could shake an empire. The balance between public perception, internal loyalty, and street credibility is delicate, and the next move could determine the future of CMG fans. Media and artists alike are waiting for signs of movement. The streets are buzzing. Social media is analyzing every detail, and every day of silence only heightens anticipation. Whether Gotti acts first, whether Youngsta drops a bombshell, or whether the situation escalates in unexpected ways, one thing is certain: the CMG empire is facing a critical moment, and its future may depend on the next move from both sides. The tension surrounding CMG isn't just between Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta, it's spreading to the rest of the artists on the label. Loyalty in the music industry is complicated, and when a major figure like Youngsta starts hinting at exposing internal secrets, the impact reaches everyone connected. Artists are watching closely, weighing their options, thinking about their careers, their public image, how they want to be perceived if this story explodes. Take Blac Yo, for example. He's one of CMG's biggest stars, with chart-topping hits and brand deals that depend on a clean image. While he's aligned with Gotti publicly, insiders suggest he's keeping a careful eye on how this situation unfolds. Any sign of scandal could make him reconsider his ties, or at least plan a strategy to protect his own career. He's not alone. Other signees, newer or rising stars, are in similar positions. They're talented, ambitious, and aware that being caught in a label drama could hurt their trajectory. Even younger or newer artists, those still building their fan bases, are reportedly making quiet moves to distance themselves just enough to stay safe. Social media posts are scrutinized, collaborations are carefully considered, and branding decisions are being made with caution. No one wants to be associated with a label that might be exposed as corrupt, manipulative, or fractured. The potential for fallout is real. The streets and the fans are watching every detail. Rumors suggest some artists are considering leaving CMG or renegotiating contracts, using the situation to gain leverage. Others might stay, betting on Gotti to maintain control and protect the label. But insiders agree that the current tension has disrupted the unity that once defined the label. The feeling of a family, once so strong, is now mixed with doubt, fear, and suspicion. The public reaction amplifies the pressure. Fans are taking sides, debating whether Youngsta is justified or whether Gotti is being unfairly targeted. Blogs, YouTube channels, and social media accounts are dissecting every move, creating an environment where even small gestures carry weight. Every post, caption, or interview could shift public opinion. It's impacting how artists and the label are perceived. As the speculation grows, insiders warn that the label could be facing a domino effect. One high-profile leak, one public statement, or one diss track could trigger a chain reaction. Fans and other artists might lose trust, brands might reconsider partnerships, and the public image of CMG could take a major hit. It's not just a feud, it's a potential crisis that could reshape the Memphis rap scene. The situation also highlights the fragility of loyalty and trust in the music industry. Artists may appear unified publicly, but when financial disputes, creative control, and personal conflicts intersect, even the strongest alliances can falter. CMG's future depends on how Gotti manages the fallout, how Youngsta chooses to reveal his side, and how the other artists navigate their roles. One wrong move could accelerate a collapse that insiders say has been quietly brewing for years. The next moves will be crucial. Will Youngsta release his evidence publicly or through music? Will Gotti act first to protect the label's reputation? And how will the other artists respond, balancing loyalty with career strategy? The answers could determine whether CMG survives this storm, or if the empire that once seemed unbreakable begins to crumble. At this point, the tension between Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti has reached a critical stage. And everyone is asking the same question: what happens next? The potential for escalation is massive, and the moves both sides make could redefine the future of CMG. According to insiders, this isn't just a social media spat. This is a battle that could involve legal action, music releases, and strategic public statements. One possibility is that Youngsta goes public with evidence he's reportedly holding. Contracts, financial records, or private communications could surface, showing Gotti in a completely different light. If that happens, it wouldn't just embarrass Gotti, It could spark legal investigations, force contract renegotiations, and even prompt other artists to leave the label. The streets are watching closely. The energy online suggests fans are ready to blow up. If Youngsta reveals the truth, another option is a high-profile interview or appearance. Imagine Youngsta on a major podcast or YouTube channel, calmly explaining the inner workings of CMG and the disputes that have been hidden from the public eye. With screenshots, dates, and other evidence, the impact would be massive. The public loves transparency, especially when it's delivered by someone who has been loyal for years but feels betrayed. The story could dominate headlines for weeks, shifting fan perception and pressuring the label in unprecedented ways. Of course, Gotti isn't likely to sit idly by. Insiders suggest he may be preparing a controlled response, whether through interviews, social media, or carefully placed music references to counteract any potential fallout. He knows timing is everything. A well-timed response could protect the label's image, can maintain fan loyalty, and reassure artists that the empire is still intact. But any misstep could backfire, amplifying Youngsta's claims and accelerating internal fractures. Artists under CMG are watching everything closely. Their next moves will likely be dictated by how this feud unfolds. Some may stay loyal to Gotti, hoping the label weathers the storm. Others may begin quietly distancing themselves, renegotiating contracts, or preparing for solo ventures. The fear of being caught in the middle of a scandal is real, and it affects career strategy, public image, financial security. There's also the possibility of music as a weapon. Youngsta could release a diss track revealing hidden truths, combining lyrical skill with real-life context. A track like that could dominate streaming platforms, social media conversations, and fan debates. In the world of hip-hop, a well-crafted diss backed by evidence can destroy reputations, shift fan loyalty, and change the dynamics within a label overnight. Ultimately, this situation is a high-stakes game of chess. Youngsta's revelations, Gotti's responses, and the other artists' decisions will all impact the outcome. Fans, media, and the streets are engaged, creating a pressure cooker environment where every word, post, and move carries weight. One misstep could tip the scales, potentially collapsing an empire that has stood for years. As the drama continues to unfold, one thing is certain: CMG's future is uncertain. Every decision now matters. The public is watching. The artists are calculating. And both Youngsta and Gotti are aware that their next moves could define not just the label, but their legacies. The question remains: who will strike first? Who will speak? And who will survive the storm? Alright, now that you've seen the full picture, the tension, the rumors, and the potential fallout, it's time to hear from you. What do you think is really going on between Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti? Is CMG on the brink of collapse? Or is this just another storm the label will weather? Your voice matters, because the fans are the pulse of this story. And your opinion can shape the conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Who do you believe, Youngsta, who says he has the receipts? Or Gotti, who's keeping silent and playing it cool? Do you think Youngsta will release an interview, a diss track, or even take legal action? Or is Gotti going to flip the narrative in his favor before things get out of hand? Every scenario could change the future of CMG, and we want to hear your take on it. And don't just stop there. Hit that like button if you're following this story closely. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any updates. This drama is far from over, and the next move could be explosive. Turn on the notifications so you're the first to know when new developments drop. Also, share this video with your friends in social media circles. The more eyes on this story, the more the streets and the fans can weigh in. We're not just reporting, we're following one of the biggest potential shakeups in hip-hop history, and you get to be part of it. So let us know in the comments, is CMG breaking? Or is Yo Gotti about to prove everyone wrong? The streets are watching, the fans are talking, and this story is unfolding live. Don't miss it. Your opinion matters, and the conversation starts right here.